I'm Steve Arnold, and we've been gathering together in class for a year now, and having a chance to practice our English. Everybody in this class is a better English speaker than I am, uh, but but we have a good time learning new words and pronunciation. And I have learned through this process that many words that I know are the same in Ukraine, so I speak more Ukrainian than I knew I did. And so that's kind of fun also. So let's take a time of introduction and let people know who you are. And so, Levin, as the senior member of the class, how about you start?
No, that's okay. Hello, my name is Yevhen Ivakhnenko. I live in Kiev. It's in Ukraine, central part of Ukraine, the main city of Ukraine. I'm a freelancer at my work. I'm doing work at that time what I need to do, and my work is installing air conditioners, some electricity at homes, and a lot of more work. Even I will Google. Do welding, weld some defend for air conditions and generators. I've done a roof on big fridges, on some gas stations. I don't know how it's in USA, but in Ukraine we love to eat, and almost our gas station have its own restaurant. Oh. And these restaurants needs big fridges. So I've made almost 20 fridges with with friends of mine, and we do this work. We did more than 20 fridges for that gas stations, for many gas stations, and my work was welding of the floor of these fridges and of the roof of it. But now I have not a lot of work because of war, but it's enough for living. But always people want more. So am I. I want more. These classes with Steve was recommended to me by Milena, and she recommended it to my wife, Olena, and then Olena said to me that there are classes for knowledge of English, for raising your base of English words and pronunciation. And it was interesting to me to speak with people whose language is English is native language. And then every week for me was more interesting because Steve likes to find some interesting info with interesting words. And every lesson was for me very interesting. And then was one moment, I remember it, I was at my one of jobs with electricity, and I couldn't enter the conversation. And then I found his phone from the side of the church to call him with how it calls in a phone. I calls, I don't remember how, FaceTime with FaceTime. Yeah, I called him and spoke to him with FaceTime, and because lesson for me is very interesting. I'm interested in raising my base of English and speaking with Steve because and Missy because they always says something interesting to me. And once I told, yes.
I was going to say, what's
once I told
you love about Ukraine?
There are very I don't know how much it's a very big quantity of places where everyone should to go in Ukraine. It's we have many castles in Ukraine because it's from I don't know, from 1900 years of new era. It was part of Europe, and here was a lot of wars on our territory, and a lot of different prince in territory of Ukraine, and every king and prince had its own castle. And many people comes to Ukraine to see our castles, our nature, and our people are open to speaking with people. We love tourists, and we have a lot of beautiful hotels like castles and rivers, mountains, cities full of interesting places. Every city has something interesting in it.
Okay, well, thank you.
And once I told, thank you.
Well, we want to make sure Max has enough time to tell us about him.
My name is Maxim Vахтенко. I am brother of Eugen. I am a student of Kyiv National Economic University. My specialty is commercial and logistic. I am 20 years old. Evgen told about this activity, and I thank you, Steve and Missy, that they introduced us to USA context, USA history, some of greatest people that was Americans. And my favorite thing about Ukraine is history of Ukraine, because it's a very large times, maybe from the first, it's have 1,000 years of history. And of course, it's landscapes, nature of Ukraine that is great. We have mountains, we have sea, we have beautiful forest, and etc. So that's all I want to say.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Max. Now,
Thank you.
and Milena's wearing a traditional Ukrainian, I guess you would call it a blouse or shirt. So Milena,
T-shirt, blouse. It's called the vyshyvanka. Okay. My name is Milena Sobolevska. I am 16 years old. I'm sorry. I feel a little bit nervous. I'm a high school student, graduating from school this year. I'm not sure about what specialty I'm going to get after I graduate. Well, I have some ideas, but well, I'm not sure. And I was the first person who got into these lessons. I thought about it to Elena, who unfortunately doesn't go there anymore. She thought about it to Yevhen, and Yevhen told it to Max, and well, here we are. What I love about Ukraine, it's culture, because well, it's just huge. We have traditional clothes, we have folklore, we have its own myths, dishes, like everything. I also love its nature. Again, as everyone said, we have mountains, rivers, we even have deserts. And I just love it, everything that here. It's everything is so pretty. I love the history. Again, like everyone said. Yeah.
and Milena, when we first started visiting, I found it was very interesting. I asked you what you did for entertainment, and I think it's kind of fun for the United States teenagers to hear that you spend your time doing what?
I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, but well,
Well, you told me that you like to talk on the phone with your friends.
Oh, right. Okay,
and,
yeah.
and that you like to play video games.
Yes, my bad. And well, I also like to draw.
Okay.
I can't say that I'm very good at it, but at least I enjoy it.
All right. Now, our most extensive teenager, who's a part of this, is Missy. So, Missy, introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Missy Holbrook, and I'm retired. I used to be an administrator in a school. I worked with emotionally disturbed children, but I've been retired for a long time. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. Discussion. But I lived out in the country in a log cabin with 2 dogs, a cat, and 4 chickens. It's very beautiful. I live on a lake. I love Minnesota, but I was raised in Europe. And the reason I love doing this, talking with the Ukrainians, is that I understand how special their country is and how privileged we are to be able to talk to them. And nobody has mentioned food yet. We've talked a lot about food, and the Ukrainians have the most wonderful food. We've had, back here in Minnesota, we've had a couple of special dinners that Steve has organized, actually. We've had pierogi, and we've had borscht. What else, Steve, have we had? We've had wonderful European style bread that one of our members has baked. What else did we have that was good? That was Ukraine.
Well, did you say pierogies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So I don't think, Levin, isn't it true that your pierogies are not what we described? We have, when we say pierogies, we say we have dumplings that are filled or potato and cheese or meat, or sometimes trout. That's different from what you have for pierogies, right?
It was on previous lesson, and I told to Steve or once before, I told Steve that it's very easy to cook pierogies, and he said, "Yeah, I know. I will buy them and will cook it." That's only what was about. But pierogies are very have many different ingredients inside them. You can do pierogies with potato. You can do it with cherry, with strawberry, and etc. I don't know. Many different ingredients can be inside.
Yes, yes. And then we had an Easter cake, and I think Milena and her household, they made an Easter cake, didn't they? A special cake? And we tried to make one, but it wasn't very good.
I honestly don't remember. It was almost a year ago, so I
Yeah,
don't remember much.
it's a long time ago, but it was fun.
All right, so that gives us a chance to know us. So I'm going to turn things over now to Pastor John, who can tell whatever he wants about himself, and then he's got some questions for us, I think.
Well, thanks for inviting me in. I don't want to monopolize the talking time. I want to hear from you. I've asked a few people some questions too, and they've given me some questions. So I'm the pastor at Pastor.
Can you speak up a little bit more? A little hard to hear.
Sure. Let me make sure my volume's where it needs to be. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm grateful to be part of the conversation today, and I am the pastor at Steve's church, and we are in a community a little bit north of the bigger cities, and so it's been fun just to hear him having his conversations with you and inviting us in and telling us what you guys are talking about. So I've got 8 kids of my own, and my oldest is 16, like you, Milena, and then my youngest is 4. As they were going out to get to school today, I asked them what questions they had. And so one of the questions was, what's been like the biggest challenge for you since this all started a year ago? So does someone want to talk, like, how has your life been the most disrupted?
So I start. For me, the hardest it was to wait my father from the front line, because there's a rotation like near 2 or 3 months in the most hardest point of the front, and you don't speak with him like several weekends, and you don't hear from here anything. You just read the news about this front, and you read that they're pushing and pushing. They shelling all the cities, and you just want to hear his voice or just text to him that you love him. It was the hardest for me and my family, my mother, just to wait something.
Milena?
Oh, okay.
All right, your turn.
Personally, there was like, I don't know how to explain. I'm kind of a lucky person because no one who I know has died, nothing bad happened to me. So I can't really answer the question because a lot of people suffered way more than I did, or so I can't really answer the question.
So Milena, since we're on this, I asked you one weekend how you did with all the bombings. Can you tell? I love your answer.
Yeah. So once I woke up because I heard some explosions. I could hear how my windows were shaking. But well, I was way too sleepy, so I just get to bed and continue to sleep like nothing happened. And then I talked to my mom, like, hey, have you heard these explosions in the morning? Like the windows were literally shaking. And she was like, huh? No, I haven't heard anything. I was sleeping.
And as about me,
Yes.
probably Milena said truth that I don't know how much, but probably 30 or 40% of Ukrainians have much more bigger problems than we have, because there are a lot of people whose parents or friends died in this war, and a lot of bad things happened in Ukraine, and a lot of bad things we don't know about in like in Mariupol, Melitopol. That's the cities that's now under occupation, and we don't know what's with our people, but we know that more than 100,000 of our children were captured, and they stole them. Russia stole our children, and now that they study our children how it's in USSR. They studying them to be USSR kids, and it's very horrible. But as the hardest thing for me from the starting of this war was probably to find myself helping with something to our country. At the first days of the war, I didn't know how to help to my country. I tried to dig some at the in the в'їзд. Секундочку. At the end in the city of Kiev, at the end of the city of Kiev, I dug a lot of pits, because we need them for our soldiers. Then I understood that I have problems with my back, and I can't do that. And then I understood that I need to do something else. So I gone to cities near Kiev and helped people to drive them into Kiev, help them to have some food. And next day, I understood that I have not enough money to ride every day, and I have not enough gasoline, because first days we didn't have gasoline at our gas station at all. And I understood that I can't use my vehicle for that, and I need to do something else. And I remembered that I have gas in my garage, and I have oil in my garage. So I decided to make Molotov cocktails. And I gone to garage and made I don't know, probably 40 or 50 cocktails of Molotov. Then I've done I have probably I can he's not a scientist, he's engineer. Near my garage I have one engineer, and he helped me to make some small grenades. We did it, and I gave a few of them to our police. What was inside that place where I was during first week, there was every day 5 policemen who watched our streets, and I gave them small grenades, and gave them few cocktails of Molotov, but still I have, I don't know, 20 bottles of it at my home. I didn't use them because Russians didn't get inside of Kiev. And then I found out that I don't know what to do else. I've gone to our military station and said that I can be the soldier, but they asked me, were you a soldier? I said no. And they said, so you need to go home and find out how else you can help our government, our country. And I got home, and then I understood that's all what I can do. I don't know what to do, and this was awful for me. That first month, I was really disappointed on myself because I don't know how to help, and I can't help. That was the horrible things for me at the start of the war.
How would you say like your national pride or your unity as a country has been something you've seen throughout this time? It's like you've shown us like just what you described, like this desire to really want to help. What's community like? What are people's relationships like, especially when this comes up? Is it something you talk about a lot, or do you just kind of everyone knows what's going on, and what's it like?
It was the day before war started. I met my friend. We were at gas stations, drink coffee and speak about will it start or not. And I thought that it's crazy thing and it won't start. And next morning I woke up with actually not I. Olena woke up because it was bombed, but I was sleeping. And when she said to me that it's bombing, I said, "You're crazy or what? I need to sleep. Tomorrow I need to go to work." And when I woke up, I saw. I don't know how to describe it. When you see news with reporters who don't have makeup on themselves, they were in like they woke up. They didn't have their hair at normal. It was like something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
No wake up, makeup up, and I understood that something happened. It was nearly 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I saw traffic jams on the streets. I understood that I need to go to Bucha to work, but I saw that I can't do that because near my window I saw jam. It's like 5 meters in hour, and I understood that I won't go anywhere. Then few days later, probably 2 days later, I could left my vehicle not closed, with opened windows, with open doors, and etc., even full of some stack, and now no one would even look at the side of my car. I could go anywhere. I could even left keys inside my car, and no one will took it. I saw that every people in Kiev and in Kiev region tried to help anyone. He saw some children. He tried to ask him how to help these children. Every people in Kiev and Kiev region tried to help anyone who he saw. such was the public opinion to the situation. Everyone tried to help something.
How about either of the other two?
Same experience. A lot of people started to donate to army, like huge money. Some tried to just like give hand to do anything that can help. But of course, well, there were people who started robbing other people's apartments, but they were stopped by other people who wanted to help everyone. So I think we became kind of more, I don't know, connected. Maybe I'm not sure how to call it properly.
Yeah.
But, well, everyone wanted to help everyone. Yeah.
I will agree with the thought because it's true. And I can maybe add that a lot of people who neither was born not to be soldiers go to the war because they understand that the country needs them. And my father said that he will be shame on his if he don't enlist in the army. And because we have a lot of volunteers that helps to the front by from the shores to the night vision goggles, drones, and etc. A lot of charity foundation buys cars, some military vehicle, one charity project buy a satellite on the money from the people. And everyone wants to help country. Everyone.
How about, because across the world we all want to help too. So do you do you feel that presence? Do you feel like how much do you understand like how everybody in the world's watching and praying for you? Do you feel that?
Yes. I mean, well, of course, I've seen a lot of people who would start saying like, oh, what the Ukraine did, they don't deserve this kind of help, they don't deserve this attention. But, well, there were much more people who would say the opposite thing. And these lessons are just another example of this. Because, well, they started as a volunteer thing to help children with learning English. And like, if no one cared, then this just wouldn't exist, right?
Yeah. What would you want people in the United States to know about you as you're living in Ukraine and living through what's happening?
Don't trust the Russians. It's the first, because their propaganda is always lie. They will lie about Ukraine and say a lot of I don't know, something stupid, like our soldiers eat children's. I don't know why they how they can say it. It's unbelievable in our time, and if you want help, pray for us. We can see this help from all the world, and maybe if you have a good finance, you can just charity to some funds or projects that will help very good.
As for me, we see all that help because millions of Ukrainians left their homes and gone in whole of the world. They've gone to the United States, Canada, France, Germany. In every part of the world, there are Ukrainians who left their home from the 21st February of 2022. And each of that Ukrainians feels that help of that countries. So we very thankful to every people of from the whole world that helps us to defeat Russia Federation and helps us to helps our people to feel good. Yeah, we feel this help, and without this help, we won't be existing. It's true, because even start of the war, first weeks of the war, in the first weeks of the war, javelins and what was the second rocket system X and low helped us. These two systems were given us in first days, or probably even in the first day. United States gave us these rocket systems, and without that systems, probably Kiev were captured. So we feel all the help, but unfortunately we need more. We need more.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for sharing today. Are there questions that you would want to ask us back in the United States, and maybe questions for the youth that I could ask them that you're asking, and I could get some answers and maybe do a little exchange there, Deacon Steve? So, and I don't know if you'll have your answers today, but I certainly could see what I can come up with and come back on maybe next week and report back if that's something you're interested in.
Well, our latest thing that we're interested in are more recipes.
Okay.
When we first started out, we talked about Paul Bunyan, and so we got recipes for Paul Bunyan's pancakes and ham and bean soup, and I forget that matched the Paul Bunyan stories. And
Okay.
then we've been, Laven is having to cook because Elena had to leave the country, and Laven is not the most experienced cook.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and Elena's mother likes recipes. So
Is there like a particular type of recipe or ingredient or something that you would like, a cuisine in particular?
I would say we eat pretty much everything. Well, in my family, not sure about others.
Not so spicy, probably.
Okay.
Oh, I actually like spicy.
I once ate Mexican food, and it was for me awful. I don't know.
So yeah, I think any recipe,
Good.
you know, and people at Faith are good cooks, so I bet there's a lot of good recipes that could be shared. And Melena's mother in particular likes to try them out.
Okay.
So,
We'll see what we can come up with.
Max, do you cook at all?
No, my cooking is go to the grocery store and buy something that you can put in microwave on 3 minutes and you can eat.
Sounds good.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm going to drop off so you guys can finish the rest of your lesson time, but I really appreciate you inviting me in and letting me have this conversation and sharing this with our congregation too. So thank you.